So here's my mini talk. I sent out this email and I was like, I'm going to take August off-ish because I have done so much shedding the last 2.5 years that I finally am just like, my body needs a break. And the intense fear response is quite not startling, but just like, huh, that's interesting. Um, and so I'm just noticing that like today I just took a nap before this call, which is very unusual. So I just wanted to note for me today, it's like, who am I without work? I grew up in a restaurant, bussing tables, getting change for people, putting food on the table since like 8 was when I think I started, officially. So my body does not know what rest looks like. And so this month, even though I will be working, right? I'll be working less so that I can learn to tolerate not producing to the level that I was and still see that I can exist. And I will continue giving myself good things like frozen watermelon lemonade. Highly recommend. So it's good to be with you all. All right. Who's got something to look at? Nikki, thank you for that. Tara, did you unmute?
I did. This is my first time, so I don't know exactly how this works. Would this be like basically share something that has like maybe something that's been triggering or anxiety inducing, and then we like you just give a quick intro and then we talk about it, or
Yes. So what you do is you bring this issue that you're dealing with. And what
Mm.
I do is I just guide you through the steps that everyone knows. So it's like, where do you feel it in your body? Who's driving the bus? And then we look. Okay.
Okay.
And I advise not so much detail. And I trust that you're going to share what you need to, but there's no wrong way here. Okay.
Mhm. Okay. I do have one, and I'm already laughing because it's kind of funny, I think, which is I've been traveling for a while. I met this guy when I was traveling in France, and I really like him. And since I'm now back in New York, I got back a few days ago, and we've texted every day. Um, but since I left, today was the first day that I was like, oh, I'm always the one who calls him. And so like I really want to call him, but I'm not going to because I don't want to seem basically, it was like the first time that I felt anxious about this relationship because it's not even a relationship, but felt anxious because I was basically like, what if I'm already getting rejected and he doesn't like me
Pause.
as much as I like him? Yeah.
What if he doesn't like me as much as I like him? Pause. Where do you feel it in your body? Emojis for other people who feel this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I refuse to date because I'm like, I can't deal with another thing. Go ahead. Where do you feel it
Um,
in your body, Tara?
where do I feel it? Okay, let me think for let me just sit with it for a second. Um, I kind of feel it in my chest, like my heart
Just
rate
put your
is,
hand there. Just
yeah.
put your hand there.
Hmm.
And invitations are for other people to also explore, right? So what's the emotion? Does this person like me more than I like them?
Fear, I
Hmm.
think.
Hmm.
Um, and then there's like some sadness,
Hmm.
like maybe a little bit of grief, it almost feels like.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. So sadness and grief. Who's driving the bus?
I think the fear part is my like the anxiety fear that's like all jittery is like maybe my tween teenager, but then the sadness feeling feels maybe younger.
Yes. So your wounded child.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when we figure out who's driving, it informs us how to reparent.
Hmm.
Okay. And so would you be okay with me guiding through like certain things that you might want to say to your little ones?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let's start with the wounded child because they are the map makers for our drive and say, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry that you have felt so lonely for so long
Mm.
and that there were ways that you were rejected by your parents. I'm so sorry and I'm here now. That rejection was nothing about you and everything about them. And I'm so sorry you believed even for a second. It makes total sense that you're looking out to this other person and longing for them to see you and love you the ways that you always needed. But remember, sweetheart, only look to me. I will never reject you. I will never abandon you. And you cannot be abandoned because I am an adult and I have your back no matter what. And I love you no matter what. Okay. And then to the tween, because they need belonging, you are the shit. Shizzle? Is that what shibid? Something like that. There's a word. I don't forget. My kids taught me. I can't remember. Sigma. You're a Sigma. You're so cool, right? And so it's like, I do not look to anyone else for belonging. You are everything to me. Only look to me for your belonging. You're beautiful. Don't look to anybody else. We were taught that our value is connected to being attractive and picked, and that is nothing about you. We need to see if they're good enough for us, right? Because we have so much to offer. And so slow this down, okay? Only look to me. I have your back, and I see you for who you really are. And teenagers like, oh my gosh, Tara. You're so busy in your mind, just planning, and you were across the world. It makes total sense that you want to focus on this. It's a lot easier to focus on this person than it is on what we're doing next. I love you so much. You're always looking for ways to improve and la la la, right? I am so proud of you. Thank you so much for all the ways that you've adapted to get us to this place. I'm here now. And it's not about this guy at all. Only look to me for your love, security, and affirmation. I'm always going to have your back no matter what. You don't have to do or be anything. I love you to the maximum. How does that feel?
Definitely the feeling in my chest changes, and it feels more, yeah, it feels solid, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't get his background. So race and ethnicity will always be a part of this, unfortunately. And is that okay to ask?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like traditional, yeah, white European looking
From Europe
from Europe. He's half Portuguese, but he sort of presents as
and wealthy or
probably like upper middle
okay.
class. Yeah.
So the reason why I bring that in is because I'm looking for dynamics, right? So if someone is European from Europe, right, they grow up in the dominant class, which is also the case in all of the world since it's been all colonized, right? So this is the status quo. So there's a certain ease and a entitlement and like, whatever. And so my suggestion is to be very, very transparent with this person, you know, in the sense of like, I notice there's part of me that wants to like count how many times I reach out versus you reach out. And I'm just beyond that. So if you want to develop a deeper relationship, I'm here. And if you're not interested in that, that's totally fine. But I need to develop like connections with people that are authentic and real. And so just, let me know. something like that. So what you're doing is you're vetting for safety. So if you say that to someone who's like fragile, what? Why are you right? He's going to overcompensate. If you do it to someone who's secure, he's going to be like, that's awesome. I like you. And I was not reaching out because I thought you were going to reject me because you were going back to the States. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so when we set a boundary in the sense of nonviolent communication, what we're doing is we're showing this person authentically who we are while protecting ourselves, right? And how they show up informs our next boundary.
Mm.
Okay. So the sooner you show up in your full authenticity, the sooner you're going to be able to vet clearly for safety.
Mhm.
But it's not this person that you're focused. I think the story I make up, see how it lands, is it's a fun thing to fantasize about. Then let's figure out next steps. Is that right? Like, because I
Yeah.
would much prefer working for you all than resting and figuring out my next steps. Does that make sense? Is it
Yeah.
true? Does it land?
Yeah, it might be a way for me to avoid like real life in some ways. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tara. What you'll see is that everyone who's here comes together and a theme will come up.
Mm.
It's amazing what happens in each of these groups. So thank you for starting us off.
Thank you.
So between each coaching, right, we do a palate cleanse, a nervous system reset, and we orient a little, move our body. Sometimes our brain wants to be like, we need our time. And that's our teenager, right? Because what we need, we will get when we are ready, and there will always be enough. Who's next? Hi, Whitney.
Hello.
Nice
How
to
are
see
you?
you. Good.
Good, good, good. I'm well. I'm doing well. I guess tonight it's more of reflection, I think, and I'm like paying attention to like myself just through the period of time I'm in. I'm in transition right now, for those who don't know, in terms of job and career, etc. So it's been sort of interesting to recognize like this week it's Thursday. I've been coming into these groups too, and I feel tired. Like I'm really tired by the time I get to this time. And I've the last couple sort of been like, oh, are you gonna go? Are you gonna, go into the group and just kind of, see what's out there? Sorry, I have dogs barking also.
I know part
Um,
two.
we're dog sitting, so this times two
So
here.
wait, are you saying, Whitney, part of you is like, are you going to go to the group?
Yeah,
Okay.
because of getting to this time in the night and just feeling tired. But what I've also realized is that my tired now feels different from my previous tired. And it's in the past I felt it's been more mental as well as physical. And now it's just like very clear and present, like you're tired because you like, I've also started working a camp, so I'm with kids all day. And so I'm
Malcolm's like,
tired. Yeah. So I'm like
tired.
tired, but it feels good that it's just like I can feel where it is and it sort of is in its own bucket, right? It's physical tired because you've been doing a thing all day that you also haven't exposed yourself to in a little bit.
Mhm.
So I have had that feeling, but then when I get here, I'm always really excited and it's great to just engage and be in the space, and I'm always happy that I gave myself that opportunity. So it's just a recognition of where I am, and learning how it's showing up in my body now that I've had a little bit of separation.
Good. Can we explore this a little bit? Where do you feel the excitement?
Um right now it's like in my hands a little bit, kind of tingling, and I feel some sort of like in like the chest and sort of like This is solar plexus area, like
Yes,
all in
solar
here.
plexus is power. So I just want you to
Mhm.
put your hands, so your hands are like, just maybe shake it out. Or no,
Yeah.
do this, do this, do
Okay.
this. Okay. So what we do when we do this is we're creating energy. Energy is what we need to make changes. Okay. And then put it on your solar plexus. I suggest also your heart. And just notice. This is the second time you said this phrase. I gave myself the time. Just notice what happens in your body. I gave myself this time. Whitney, you're in a time of transition, which I think everyone else on this call is too. And if you don't gift yourself your own time on what you want to bring in next, you are going to be tired, because time is the only real limited resource here. Okay? So just notice what happens in your body. What's happening? I gave myself this time.
It's like a wave, but it feels emotional.
Yes. Where do you feel the emotion?
It's kind of shifting up into my head.
Great. What's the emotion? Can you sense it as it's moving up? And then what you want to do is let it go out of your body. Okay? Don't hold it in.
There's some excitement.
Mhm.
There's some still like, I don't know if it's, maybe it is fear of the unknown.
Mhm.
But it is happy. Like at the root of it, it feels like it's a happy emotion, but it's still kind of releasing.
Yes.
The sadness part of it is kind of moving through with it.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's driving? And like Tara, it could be some different parts. Okay. So you have sadness, excitement. Sounds like joy.
Hmm.
Okay.
Joy for sure. My my I want to I my teenager is what's like, yeah, she's like hanging out at the front of the line right now. So I'm gonna go with teenager for sure.
Okay. Anybody else? Front of the line, like which is the emotion for the teenager?
Like it's sort of like a, because I'm more aware of kind of checking her in the conversation. So she's like noticing like I'm here, but like I'm also trying to temper myself.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Who's grief? Who's that?
Add her too, as well as
Mm-hmm.
my tween,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I think all of them,
All
honestly,
of them.
all of them. Yeah.
Wounded child, especially, is a story makeup. See how it lands, okay?
Okay.
And then fear. Who's driving?
So it feels like my teenager.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now this is such a gift. Okay. We're going to zoom out. Okay. When we haven't been given support or guidance, right? We don't know what it feels like to prioritize. Like, these are the things that are important. This is what we're going to do. I see you. You're safe. So there's no stability, right? And so the wounded child is going to take it in as this is the state of things. For instance, for me, I had started saying my family worked all the time. So there was no security, because it was always, how do I secure the next amount of money? Okay. So I couldn't develop who I was because my parents were figuring out security. So in case, Whitney, your caregivers around you, your parents or whoever, right, were distracted with other things, you will not have developed that internally for you as security. Okay. And so what I like to do, and I'm not sure if you like to do it, is I like to blame my family, my mom. I like to blame my mom for not loving me enough for me to be brave enough to actually do the thing that I need to do, which is balance my checkbook. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, as we zoom out, we look at the impact of colonialism. We look at the impact of capitalism. We look at the impact of generational trauma, of white body supremacy, okay, patriarchy. and we see, oh, the shit wasn't available because it was taken or kept from us. And so we learned to adapt without it. Okay. So normalizing to your little ones, of course, little ones, you're sad. I'm so sorry that everyone around you when you were little were so focused on these other things that weren't actually the things that mattered. They were the things that they were taught that mattered, but those things were actually what was harming all of us. I'm so sorry that it's taken so long for me, your functional adult, to get here and see that the real value is connection with you. I see you now and I have your back and I'm connected to source and I'm clearing out all of the stuff so I can get super clear why this particular body is on this particular place at this particular time. And it is not to earn money. I mean, that's going to be an outcome. Okay. It's going to be an outcome. When we align with who we really are and our purpose, everything flows. Everything. It's just the way it is. Okay. You're not going to have to hustle. You're not going to have to like stretch out your time. You're not going to have to multitask because you will be so clear on what to do because it is part of your purpose. Does that make sense? You see, I see a smile. What's happening?
Well, two things. One is that the last tattoo that I got literally is the word time. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's in digital. It's like digital font too, so it's something that's very present for me and how I think about like the importance of time.
Yes.
And then you just use the actual word hustle, which is literally a thing that I've been proud of, but it has its disadvantages as well, like down to a playlist of like all the songs that include the word hustle. So yeah.
Can you tell your teenager, thank you so much?
Yeah.
You are like with hustling.
Yeah.
You got us to this place. Look at what. And now it is time for you to rest because I'm here and I'm going to strategize, not by doing, but by being. But I need you to stop with the urge, the impulse to hustle. Okay. And so when you're spending time with these kids, do what Malcolm does and connect, not to save, but to wake you up. Because what happens is when we see kids for who they are and not what they potential or like, when we connect with them on a human to human level, it is energizing. Okay. Because mutual aid is mutual resource, is sharing. Being seen is as energizing as seeing someone else. This is the law of reciprocity. Okay. Mm-hmm. And when you're there, use your body differently, not to give. I mean, yes, to give, but also to receive. This is a gift when you serve in this way, not as a martyr, not as a savior, but as a human being understanding how hard it is to be a fucking kid in this day and age, right? And help them see what's important, right? I see you. You got this. I trust you, right? And then what you're going to do is you have to be really, you don't have to, but my suggestion is to be super careful because it isn't by design that we are too tired by the end of the day and the end of the week to do anything to create our freedom. We are too tired. Okay. So you need to unlearn the systems that were forced into your particular body, your particular lineage, Whitney, forced into. Okay. So it's understanding that there's an alchemy from your particular ancestry that you need to understand so that you don't perpetuate it. To free yourself, you are going to be so much more, not just for yourself, but you're going to alchemize all of the harm that was done, all the sacrifices that they made. Does that make sense? Especially as you're transitioning, you want to make sure that you're not going to hustle yourself into the next thing, that you're going to actually have this energy. Because from my experience, as I've clarified my purpose, right, I wake up energized and excited. I don't have that Sunday night dread anymore. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited for Monday. The kids go off to the thing and I get to work on this thing that I love. Does that make sense? It is
Yeah.
so fucking different. It's weird. I feel a little like manic, like I'm like going to my therapist and I'm like, this is normal. I'm like so happy right now and tired, right? But that time is not wasted anymore. Okay. What's
Thank you.
happening in your body now, Whitney?
It's again, it's just sort of like it's a reminder and a reassurance of just, like keep going. This
Yes.
is the right thing. And I think the way I'm looking at it and like kind of seeing things and as they come,
Mhm.
and being more, right? Like it is helping. And I think one of the clear ways is just being able to even feel like what the tired is connected to, whereas before I could have maybe had like 10 possibilities that
Yes.
all were separate from me, like they were
Exactly.
external from me.
So what you're doing, Whitney, is you were attuning to yourself.
Mm.
This is the attunement that we get from our parents when they are available to us. So attunement is going, hey, you seem a little off today. What's going on? Tired? Something happened at camp? Did you eat today? Did you sleep enough? Are you hydrated? Right? What you're doing is you're attuning to your body. This is very, very important. So as you learn every little nuance in your body, it's going to be so much clearer for you. Just like you're saying, now I know I can discern, right? And so when you can discern what it really is, then you can bring in the resource that your body actually needs rather than zone out on social media do you know what I mean? Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Whitney. All right. Take a drink of water and orient for the next person.
First, Whitney, thank you. I appreciate you. And I know that what you said resonated with me. And it brought up some feelings and effectively what I'm struggling with right now is like I have, at least I feel like I have attuned with myself and with the things I want to do. And I am harboring resentments for other people who all right, sorry. I'm supposed to start with the intro. Hi, quick intro. A couple things have been going on. It's like, so my wife and kid are sick. So if you notice, I'm in like a different location. I've been in the hottest room in the house, quarantining, with no AC.
Oh.
Only room with no AC. So
And you're the only healthy one?
yeah, always. It's always the partner and kid, and then me would be separate, but we just live separate lives, I guess. But the long and short is, um, that like while this has been going on, I felt like I've had less space for folks at work who are like, hey, I need to take space, or I need to take a day, or I need to do this. And then in addition, I'm basically teaching like a intro to financial literacy class to all like the first and second year, like, educators of color who are new, who are like, wait, I don't know about, and I'm like, let's talk about all this stuff because you're in a position where you're about to start making money and you have no idea what to do with it. Let's talk. Um, but I say all that to say, in a lot of instances, both at home with my partner being like, hey, I need a minute or some space, or, like, can you take the kid? Or like with folks at work, like, hey, I need a day, or etc. Um, I'm feeling frustrated that, or like even like the first years who are like, I don't really know what's going on. And I'm just
Where's
kind
the
of,
resentment?
where is it?
In your body?
Oh, I might be too hot to tell you. Honestly, it feels like it's here, like in my trapezius. It feels like it's up there.
Okay. So just put your hands there while you're there. Just massage it. What's the emotion? Is resentment?
No, it's like it's coming out as resentments, but I think I'm sad for myself.
Oh my gosh, it calls for an emoji. Sad
Okay.
for yourself. Say more. Say
Um,
more.
I I think in this particular case, I'm like, even though like I'm putting in work and I know what I'm doing is like the right thing to be doing and all the things, I think I'm still sad for myself that I don't ever feel like I have the space to even take those boundaries. And like
I
I put
don't
up,
feel like I have the space to take those boundaries.
yeah, like I don't feel like, yep,
Who's driving? I
it's
only I only
it's
side-eyed on
always
my
that.
other
First,
monitor.
the person who had just got their license, my teenager is always driving.
Yes. Hey, hustling. Okay,
Yeah.
who else? Anyone else driving?
Um, the backseat driving is always my little one. Like if I take this space or this boundaries or whatever,
Yes.
like
What?
then I won't get taken care of. So like if I request, hey, I also need space, like sorry, Whitney, when you said like I might not make it to the meeting, I was like, I also was like, I might not make it to the meeting, but I was like, this is the last one and I want to be here, but it's really hard for me to take that space right now, knowing that like, there's other people who need things. And
Mm-hmm.
I
And
I
those other people include you. Okay. So I'm gonna jump in. Is that okay?
jump on in.
Malcolm, you and me have been working for a while. So is it
Yeah.
okay? For
Yeah.
everyone else on here, it's okay if you're like, okay, you can handle it. Okay. When you're like, I'm in the hottest room in the house, they're like sick. And I was like I didn't. My teenager's like, do the violin.
Listen, heard.
Right. Okay. The reason is teenager loves to put themselves on the cross, right? I'm going to curse. When you said you were doing a financial fucking literacy class, are they paying you?
No, so they just all come to my room because they're like, yo, we need help.
Oh,
I know. I understand.
yes. Okay. Fine. Okay. But what I'm saying is, you are not protecting your time. What do you mean these people aren't giving you the time that you need? You know who you need to talk to? Malcolm in that hot room. Sweat your ass off because you are not protecting you.
No.
Yes. Now what happens in your body is I call you in.
Besides me hearing little violin music.
Functional adults are funny.
Yeah. That's because we have that sense of humor from everything else.
Yes.
Um,
Because we don't take ourselves seriously.
that part.
Serious.
I think, and like I feel like I can feel things like draining out my feet right now.
Let it go. You know where else needs to drain? From your back.
Mm,
Stop carrying everyone else's stuff so that you are close to them, because that means you are the Sherpa and not the main person on this tour.
yeah, like I hear you. Like logically, I know it's not other people's fault that I'm not taking a day off or that I didn't say you go in the hot room and I'll hang out in the AC because my immune system's better. But like,
Yeah. Yeah. Because that wouldn't be the right place to put it. It would be the right place as people come to your room and say, hey, what do I do with my money? Be like, hey, so wise, you all. Why don't you all get together and watch this link for these YouTube videos and like work and then
oh,
get back to me with another thing, right? Like The thing is, Malcolm, your teenager loves to save.
Yeah.
And so I'm so proud of you, Malcolm Jr. You are amazing. Look at what you did. You have gotten us all the plans of financial, all of these things. It's because you have been working your ass off, educating yourself, doing it all. And for some reason, you don't want other people to have to go through that pain themselves. Because something in you thinks that you not allowing them their journey means that you get to save them, and they'll give you the accolades that you never got when you were little. And they won't give it to you because it's from the wrong person.
Okay. Yes, and like, yes, 100% agree. I'm
Mhm.
feeling like I'm Black Superman, but only for like, other colored faces. Um, and I'm thinking of that like the narrative I have is that that's coming from a place of regret around my own like childhood and upbringing, and like I'm trying to make up, like this is one of the things about being an educator. Like half of us are in here because we're the educator we wish we had or whatever. And I feel like I am trying to parent and support people in the ways that I didn't get.
Yes. But you know how you're going to be more impactful, Malcolm? So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom out, okay? Zoom out on what you're enacting in your body is what was enacted on your ancestral bodies, okay? Of how to clean up and carry everyone else's shit so you're going to be safe. You're going to be out of harm's way, okay? That's what you keep doing. You keep making them do stuff for other people so you're out of harm's way. You want to increase your impact on how to educate bring the educators to these kids in a way that's actually going to free them finally, is you create the program that is in you already. Sidebar, everybody, I have been trying to tell this person to fucking do the thing, because the moment he starts it, it's just gonna because he knows it already, right? He does it for free in these little mini ways. But if he had protected his time, it's not too late. If you protect your time and go, I'm so pleased that you're coming to me. I'm not able to do this right now. I'm building something that's really important to me. Can we maybe put some time on our calendars in March? If they want the information, there is this thing called YouTube for them to figure out their finances. Okay. What you are here to do on this land right now, in the body that you have right now, is very, very important. Okay. And even if you don't do it, you are still worthy. Right. And if you do it, you'll just be less resentful. You'll have more energy. You'll have more time. You'll have a hell of a lot more joy. And you'll put an air conditioning in that room.
Judy.
My functional adult is so spicy. I'm sorry. Okay. Notice what's happening in your body right now. Sorry.
No, honestly, laughing feels good. Uh, haven't had a lot of opportunities to laugh this last week, so that feels good in terms of relieving stress and just getting that out.
The kids that you serve, Malcolm, adore you. It's time for you to adore you. Oh, look. Whitney said, Judy, love that. And there's a spicy chili there. Look. Whitney's functional adult sees Malcolm. Okay. This is good?
Yeah. I appreciate you.
Oh no, this would be fun. Take a drink and orient. Get this. This is so fun. All right. Next, we have time. One more.
Go ahead, Tia. Losing my voice a little bit. If you
Nikki,
want, or I can
Nikki.
go.
Wait, what's happening? Did you undo your thing or did you
I
see
did. I was just telling Tia she could go if she wants to.
all you, Tia said? Coming up your time. Okay, go ahead. I'm just.
Yeah, Tia, are you like,
No, I'm saying to you, Nikki.
oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this time thing.
Breathe.
I have a ring that reminds me
Let it out. Root. Okay.
that time is on my side. I feel like I'm either 10 years behind or 10 years ahead. Like in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The middle has always been a thing too. Even in my identity, trying to figure out the white and the Latina, and even the name thing is getting messy. So it's the wounded child that feels confused but curious. And I know that I need to take time to do more self-identity work, and I keep avoiding, because I even wrote down, what am I avoiding? I'm avoiding the Hispanic part because there's just so much.
Mm-hmm. Where do you feel this in your body?
My skin feels hot, and we have air conditioning.
Uh-huh. When you feel your skin, what's the emotion?
When I was younger, when I was a little kid, I did everything to I didn't want to be darker. I wanted to be white like my mom.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So just pause. What's the emotion?
I'm sad for me, and I'm sad for my dad and my grandpa and his dad.
Mm-hmm. So it's grief. Breathe. Grief that you didn't love the skin that you're in. So just notice.
My mom was always nice about it. She'd be like, "You'll love it one day. Like, you're beautiful just as you are."
Mm-hmm. But what she didn't understand was the sickness of whiteness.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And she fetishized Hispanic men. Like, she only
Yes.
would be with Hispanic men. And I actually
Yes.
was like, I don't want to be with Hispanic men. I'm going to be with a white man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's
So
literally
just slow this down. Slow this down, okay? You don't want to be in the skin that you're in. Who is that driving your bus?
a teenager.
Mm-hmm. Who else?
I don't know. Is it maybe the tween that doesn't feel accepted? Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely don't. There's an acceptance thing that's been a thing in most groups. Like, even right now, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable because I'm
Right
not
here.
fully Hispanic.
So that's why I was like, people are white passing, but I want to let you know everyone's here who's supposed to be here. Even now you're like, Tia, go ahead. I don't deserve to take up space. Okay, just pause. Just breathe it through, okay? I'm going to say this. You are welcome exactly as you are, Nikki. You belong here. Breathe. The story make up that the skin, this grief, is your wounded child, your tween, and your teenager. Okay, the reason is epigenetics, right? So epigenetics is when there's trauma in a generation, right? The genetic makeup changes to adapt, right? So what we have is the impact of colonialism, right? How migrant workers or, Is that accurate? This was your,
Yes.
were viewed as dirty, as not good enough, as blah, 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 right?
Yes. For my German family. Yeah.
Yeah. Not just your German family. I mean, we
Right.
see the presidential candidate as, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
what we're seeing is you are, your body is trying to merge these two that we're told should never be
Yeah.
blended, right?
Yeah.
And so when I so when I zoom out, I'm able to contextualize the trauma. Oh, these were all the lies that we were told so that we would fight each other instead of resource each other. Okay? So the pattern that I see is that you are constantly resourcing other people. It's almost like you're repaying a debt. Breathe. Breathe. So I'm going to talk a little bit as Nikki's feeling this. Nikki has this like deep connection, like they're the story I make up, Nikki, is that you're really connected. It's like a channeling, right? This intensity, right? So in case like there's this experience for some people about why is it so intense, right? What I'm saying is Nikki has this gift that she's able to feel huge amounts. Her channel within her body, her emotional channel is really big, right? And so people didn't understand it. And so that was another reason why there's a rejection. That's a story I just made up. Is that accurate? Yeah. She's so sensitive, right? It's not sensitive. She's actually very, very connected. Okay. But what people can't see is she can feel in 1 second all of it. Okay. And so what Nikki's working on is how to control the intensity so it doesn't blow out her system. Okay. And so I want you to, a suggestion is you hold your body and you go, thank you so much. You work so hard for me. And you are perfect as you are. I'm so sorry that you believed all of the lies. You took it in like truth. You scrubbed your skin, and I'm so sorry that I tried to reject you for so long. I'm here now. Every precious inch of you I will cherish and honor and protect. I'm so sorry. So you imagine holding your baby, your little one, your tween, teen, and you say, I'm here now. I'm just trying to figure this out. But I'm not going to abandon you anymore. And I will not let anyone misuse you anymore. I'm looking at you, teenager. Right? Your teenager quickly does that, just like Malcolm's. Okay? And so you thank that teenager for doing that to keep you safe. But it actually attracts people who are going to misuse you. Okay? And so there's a wounded child that goes, I'm going to keep those dangerous people close because it's familiar. And you can say, sweetheart, that's not real love. Only look to me. I've got you. Okay? So ground, let it go through you. Okay? Fill up your body with light. How is everyone else doing as you witness Nikki? Everyone okay? What's happening in your body? Nikki, when I asked them, you didn't do anything wrong. I'm just checking in, okay? The reason why I ask is if anyone had intense emotional responses from a caregiver that was like, oh my God, I gotta do something. It can trigger that, which is just something that you can integrate. Okay. Whitney said, relating to moments of rejection or lacking acceptance. Yeah. The level of trauma in colonialism is like this like superficial thing, right? When you want to see the depths of the level of trauma, look at what's happening in Congo, Sudan, Palestine. This is real life picture of what happened to everyone who was on this call. Okay, and the people, right? The colonizers, the reason why I keep this group very sacred is because the colonizers, the shame breaks they will have a different relationship to it. So I need to use different tactics to get in, right? But because their nervous systems aren't pushed to capacity, beyond capacity that people of color have had to, forced to endure, right? They're not able to keep up. And because they're not able to keep up, it can be re-traumatizing to people of color. Okay. So what I'm saying is, I want you to fully understand these mechanisms that we have been protective. That's why I use humor, because it's like, come on, right? But the thing is, it's like with reverence, go, oh, that's why I do that. Thank you so much. We don't have to do that anymore. I'm not in war zone. I'm not going to be dragged back. I'm not going to be, right? So it's that constant, I'm connecting to this moment right now, not past, not future, but right now. Because what happens is if you continue to be in your functional adult by resourcing yourself in this present moment, you stay in your prefrontal cortex and you're much more agile to what's actually happening versus anticipating 50 different scenarios, except 50, the 51st that you didn't think of. And by that time, you're exhausted, right? So if you keep practicing, I'm right here, right now, functional adults driving the bus, what's happening, right? The more you practice that, it will be so fast. You'll enter a situation and immediately be able to discern the dynamics and what's happening and what you need to do. Okay? So keep practicing this framework. You're relearning how to be actually in your body safely for the first time. Does that make sense? We went a little over on the cleanup and shout out, or yeah. I mean, I made up this timeline, so who the fuck cares? But anyway, anyone like need to check in about something before we kind of do our closing ritual and then have some time to connect at the end? Cleanups or shout outs?
I will say thank you all. I'm simply here to share space with you all, and I appreciate you all just being open. And Judy, I appreciate you for having these spaces for us. So thank you to everybody.
I get more than I give.